Apparently, I ruined Sofia's dating life in high school.
Not apparently. He did.
Apparently, I don't believe it.
Do you want to get married eventually?
Yes, but like, I guess the simplest way to put it is like, if it's not like a fairy tale, then I don't want it. I'm not the type of asshole to like, oh, you're fucking dating my sister, like you better watch out or I'm gonna beat you up. I'm not that fucking guy. Don't
let me tell you.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Hits Podcast. My name is Oscar. This is my sister, Sofia. This is our podcast. It's called the Hits Podcast, HTS, no I. Today, we don't have a topic, but we're just going to talk, and maybe we'll figure something out, and it'll be fun.
Ooh.
What do you want to talk about, Sofia?
That's the sound. That's the sound of people having fun. Ooh.
Did you install your hubcap?
I have not. It's still right here, actually.
You fucking schmuck.
It's been really cold outside, and I want to FaceTime Bill. Well, I
have a garage.
You think I know how to install that shit on myself? By myself? I don't.
In the garage?
No. I need a FaceTime Big Oscar to do it, but I don't have service down in my garage. So I need to do it outside. But the past, like yesterday, it was like snowing.
Bro, it just clicks on.
Like you just push it in?
Yeah.
That's it?
Most of the time.
Should we go do it right now?
If anything, sometimes they'll kind of be fitted to like be held by the lug nuts, which means you would have to take them off to put them on, which is, you should just wait for me to visit you or something, right? Or not, you should, like you could do it, but like you're going to have to buy things and we're going to have to explain things and you're not going to have a good time. And not that the lug nuts like hold them in place, but just kind of like, they're like a safeguard. But I don't think that's the case here.
Do you think the lug nuts ever get tired of lugging these nuts around? I also don't know what a lug nut is. You were saying that, and I started thinking about it, and then I thought of that.
The whole time, like, she's just like, wow, there's a part of the car that's called nuts. What?
I know nuts are a thing, you know? Like, nuts and bolts, but I don't know what a lug nut.
I was going to be like, if you want to see more conversations where Sofia knows nothing about what we're talking about, stick around. You know what I thought we could do?
Huh?
Which this is like super fucking lame, but I think it would be fun.
On brand? Oh. What?
Why is lame on brand, you dickhead?
For you.
Oh. Anyways. The week that the Devil Wears Prada comes out, like the episode that's coming out closest to that shit coming out.
Watch it and talk about it? Oh.
We could do like a fashion show of like what we might wear to see the movie.
Yes!
Like 3 or 4 different outfits.
Yes,
like,
and then I pick your outfit and you pick my outfit to wear.
Wait.
Like, I'll show you.
No, wait. I thought I would think of 3 or 4 outfits and then wear them and present them. And you would think of 3 or 4 outfits and then wear them and present them.
And then I pick, from the 3 or 4 outfits that you picked, I pick which one you wear to go watch the movie and vice versa.
Okay. I thought about that and then I was like, fuck. Now I need outfits.
I got outfits.
Anyways, I thought that could be cool or fun.
That's cool.
But then I'm like, damn, we're so lame. I feel like that's cool and or fun, but also like, I don't know. I feel like some things are so much cooler when you have like an audience participating, and then when you don't, and it's just you two, it's like.
Are you saying you don't like talking to me?
Yeah, maybe. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think you are. I'm gonna cry now. No, but we should do it anyways because it's cool. It's cool, but it's also just like on brand for like the movie and like, you know what I mean. And we were talking about for a while like show, movie, film related things. So I'd say yes, bro. Do your big toes pop a lot? Like, you know how you can like pop your fingers? Your big toes do that? I'm gonna assume no, because you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
I don't know what a lot means, but every now and then they have to pop. But like sometimes it's really hard to pop them, and I gotta like bend my toe and like jam it into something. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know your toe. No, but you know how your toes like that? Like I bend my toe and then I'll like press this up against like the couch or up against the bed or like and I'll like kick. And then sometimes it'll pop and sometimes it'll just like throb in pain. And I'm like, son of a bitch, why won't you pop?
Well, that's why you have to like pull it, like if you were pulling your fingers.
No, what the fuck? You pop your big toes by grabbing the fucking toe and pulling it?
occasionally. If it feels
You're
like
gonna
it has,
rip it off?
if it feels like if it has to pop but it's not popping, I'll do that. Because I hate the feeling of like, okay, tell me if I'm crazy. The feeling of like your fingers, like let's say your fingers, like if you're doing this, right? And then you get to one where it doesn't like it doesn't pop, but it feels like it needs to pop, and like you just keep like trying to pop and it doesn't pop. I hate that feeling. So when that happens to my big toe, I'm just like, and I'll just like literally, I just go like I literally just go like that, like that, and then
it's like a bending tension thing.
You pull and bend like.
I thought you were just like fucking.
No, that doesn't. I don't think that would help do anything.
You know what I mean?
How? I did something to my thumb though. Fun fact: my thumbs like don't pop anymore because I've jammed them. Yeah, because I used to be in flags, right? Color guard. Oscar will show short clip of what that is. I like doing that, like just saying, "Oscar, you're going to do this."
Just assign me shit to do.
Yeah. Anyways, short clip, and I've jammed my like fingers a lot doing that, but my thumbs specifically, I've jammed them like a ton, and they just don't pop anymore. Like I remember there was one time I was saying that, and some guy thought he was trying to be cute. He's like, "I bet I could pop it," and I'm like, $10 says he won't, and he's like, "Fine," and then I got $10 because they don't pop because I know my body.
Fuck it, I don't even. I want to know just so I can think less of this person because I know who it was. I know it was a band kid or some shit. I want to ask who it was so I could think of them and be like, "What a fucking loser who lost that bet." But I don't want to know because if it's not someone that I'm like, if it's not one of because there's like contenders in my head of like, it was probably this guy or that guy or this guy.
I think I know who you think it is.
No, okay, that makes me think it's not that person. Because I think that like there's a most obvious person in this scenario. And if you are thinking that I think it's it, okay, so no, I don't want to know then. Because if it was him, I'm just like, yeah, that guy's a fucking dweeb.
That's on track.
And that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it wasn't him, now I'm like, which loser motherfucker was trying to be in here all fucking, you know?
No.
Apparently, guys, it was so funny. We've talked about this before, but I just want to mention it real quick for the clip. Apparently, I ruined Sofia's dating life in high school.
Not apparently. He did.
Apparently. I don't believe it, but
he did.
I don't agree. Sophia claims I did. I claim if these motherfuckers weren't fucking bitch made, then it wouldn't have been a problem. Sophia claims that people didn't like talk to her or didn't hit on her because they were afraid of me.
Which is true.
Because they were afraid or because what? That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
They had afraid? So much admiration they didn't want to step on your toes.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense, right?
No.
Right?
There was literally
here's the thing. I'm not like I'm not a very intimidating person, right? Like I'm like 5'8", 5'9". I weighed like 140 pounds. I was in good shape and I wrestled. But like
he was captain of the wrestling team.
But I'm not even like I wasn't even like a 6'3", like and I was the leader of the drumline, right? Yeah. Sophia claims that dudes never hit on her because they were like, oh no, that's Oscar's sister and Oscar's gonna like lose it, right?
No.
The fucking hilarious part to me about that is that I wouldn't have lost it. Like if anybody was like hitting on you or dating you or this or that, I'm not the type of asshole to like try and get in their face and like punk them and be like, oh, you're fucking dating my sister, like you better watch out or I'm gonna beat you up. I'm not that guy. I'm not that fucking guy. Don't let me tell you a story. Here
let me tell you a story.
Like I'm that guy, bro.
Let me tell you a story.
We can tell. Hold on, I'm gonna tell. No. Because I know you're acting like I'm gonna conveniently leave out this story, and you're acting like I'm conveniently forgetting this story. I know the fucking story. I'm gonna tell the fucking story. Don't fucking sit here.
There's two
and
stories.
Act like
Which one
I'm that guy, bro. Don't act like I'm that guy.
Okay, go tell your story.
No, you need to admit that I'm not that guy, and I'll tell all the stories you want that help your case.
Tell the story and let the people decide what kind of guy you are. Huh? Why do you care so much about what I think?
You know damn well if you went on a date with a guy, I'm not going to be the guy. I'm not the brother that answers the fucking door and tries to do this fucking bad boys thing of like, who the fuck are you? What do you want? When are you going to be back? I'm not that fucking guy. You know I'm not.
Okay.
Admit it.
No.
Or I'll admit it, or we're not telling the stories, and if you tell the story, I'm going to cut it out in the edit.
You're not that guy now.
Bullshit! I wasn't that guy then.
I have a story. I don't know what story you're thinking of. There's two. I have a story.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, I think I figured out the second one. Have we told both of these?
Probably.
I don't know. One of them, I'm kind of like,
You're
one
that
of them?
guy?
No. One of them, I was like, that was just funny. I thought I was just joking. Like, that was hilarious. But apparently, like, everybody took it seriously. Another one, I'm like, okay, I may have been wrong, but I meant that shit for real. I think I know them both. One of them's the one in the hallway, and the other one's the party, right?
There's three stories.
Hold on. I
One of
wanted to
them's
go
the
back to
phone.
talking about.
One of them's the hallway. One of
Oh,
them's the party.
fuck you! The phone.
You say you're not that guy, and you literally did what you said you wouldn't do.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Now,
Hold on.
Don't get me wrong.
Hold on. If the phone is proof of me being that guy, then you two are that fucking guy too. You and Celeste are that type
I never
as well.
said I wasn't that guy.
Okay, so then stop acting like I'm an asshole.
You
or
are
stop
an
acting
asshole.
like I was the bad guy.
You are the bad guy.
No, I'm not. What the fuck?
Okay.
You guys are way more that guy than I am.
Like what? Tell us a story.
You guys would literally, there would be certain girls, and you guys would literally come up to me and be like, oh, that girl's a slut. Don't talk to her. And I'm like,
come up to who? I'm sorry. Come up to who? And say it. Come up
Anyways.
to who? To you? Not to the other person? Oh.
No, Celeste would also tell the girls themselves.
Okay, but that's Celeste, not me.
Whatever, you do that.
Not to the persons. I'd go up to you. I'd say that. No, listen. I was on the phone one time with a guy.
With a slut?
Hey. I was on the phone with one time with a guy, and it was someone that Oscar knew, actually, and they would like eat lunch together and stuff. Because one of my classes like had like older people like in the grade and like my class.
It was one of those mixed classes.
One of those mixed classes, which is how I met him. And he would flirt with me and whatever, and it's just like tee hee ha ha. And then I was on the phone with him one time, and I was talking to him, and Oscar was like, "Who the fuck you talking to?" And then I was like,
No. You gotta tell the story right. I came into the room casually to hang out with my sister, lovingly, and then she was on the phone.
Telling the story right.
And then I casually asked, "Who are you on the phone with?" Like not in like a "Who the fuck are you on the phone with?" all mad and shit, but in like a "You're never on the phone with people." Who are you on the phone? Like what the fuck? Like this isn't normal. Say it right.
And then I told them. And then someone...
Bullshit, that's not what happened. She gave me the phone.
Mm-mm.
She didn't tell me who it was. Oh, no. You said you might have said his name or some shit, but that wasn't the name that I knew him by or something. Because she was like, so-and-so, and I was like, who the fuck is so-and-so?
And then I showed him the like name, like, because it says the name. And then I was like, he snatched up the phone and he's like, who's this?
Jokingly. I thought it was funny. Anyways, that's the type of shit. She was like, so-and-so, and I was like, who the fuck is so-and-so? And she was like, eh. And then I was like, what? But she was saying it like I was supposed to know who it was.
Because he knew who it was.
Okay, but I didn't know that I knew. And then she was saying it like I was supposed to know, like if it was one of our mutual friends or something, and I'm just like, oh, that person. You know what I mean? And then I was like, who the fuck is that? And then she showed me the phone, and then I was like, who the fuck? And I grabbed the phone because again, there was this sense of like, we know this person. So then I was like, who's this? And then I was like, I said, who's this or something? And then that little motherfucker was like, what's up, bro? And I was like, who the fuck is bro? But that was in reaction to him calling me bro in that scenario where he's talking to my sister. So like, and this is where I'll say perhaps I was wrong, right? Sofia didn't understand the sort of like ego
dynamics
and like pissing contest that goes into something like that, where it's like, if I'm dating your sister, I have something up on you, which is dumb. And that's like a really possessive, like objectifying ego thing that guys do. And I didn't necessarily have that feeling, or I didn't necessarily have that attitude where like if I was dating someone's sister, I looked at them like as less than. But I was gonna be damned if someone is gonna be doing that within us, right? If someone's gonna look at me some type of way because they're dating my sister, That's not only disrespectful to me, that's disrespectful to you.
And instead of just,
And so that was the thing. And so that was the thing. That was the thing that came into it as well, where it's like, no, it's not okay for some dude to be holding this over my head. You shouldn't be okay with that either. Not just because of what it means between he and I, but because of what it means about you, right?
Saying that having a conversation.
Hold on. So then he said, "What's up, bro?" with this little smug attitude of like, I'm talking to your sister. So then I reacted with a like, who the fuck is bro reaction. Not because I was going in there fucking showing them who's boss, but it was a reactionary sort of like, oh, we're gonna do the fucking ego thing, right?
And then
I said, who the fuck is bro?
I heard his response and I was like, give me the phone. Because I know him, you know? So he when he sounds annoyed, you could see it, and he can't lie. Like, it's just on his face, in his tone. And at that point, I'm like, give me the phone. And like, it is kind of funny. It was a very like sibling guest kind of thing where like, I'm like, give me the phone. And he's there like, like, and like walking around just like, yeah. And I'm like chasing him throughout the house while he has my fucking phone talking to this guy. And he's just like, here. And so, yeah. So that's one story.
Hold on. And then
Oscar's not the type to go up to the door.
I did give her the phone. I did give her the phone. He started it. That's what you're still not understanding to this day, apparently. I did give her the phone. And then immediately I was like, why are you talking to that guy? And then she was like, and I was like, that guy's a slut. Don't talk to him. And then I just left it at that. Like, I never followed up. I never went up and confronted him in person. I never gave Sofia a hard time again after that. I was just like, yo, I don't know what you're doing, but don't do it. Like, this is a bad road to Drive Town, right? And then that was it. It wasn't this like ongoing fucking
Oscar seems to have like this idea, like, he had this idea growing up. I don't know if he still has it, but like, we've definitely had conversations where he's like, no, like, you don't care about my opinion in regards to certain stuff like this.
Because you didn't.
Did you catch me on the phone with that guy again? Did I ever date that guy? Did I ever go on a date? Did you ever see me speaking with him again?
Well, maybe you were just doing it behind my back now. And like, you're just like, I'm not letting that guy catch me again.
I didn't. But my point is, Oscar, I think Oscar, in every scenario, in every one of these stories, I will say, I do think you had my best interests at heart. I will give you that.
So then act like it, asshole. Like,
but you did it so bad. And you did it in such a fucking, like, douchebag way. In the, who the fuck is this? You know what I mean? Instead of just, like, giving me the phone and being like, you're talking to that guy? You shouldn't talk to that guy because of everything he just said, which I clearly listened to. So there's that. There's another instance.
I think Sofia remembers it like worse than it was. You know what I mean?
I think maybe. Oscar is the man and doesn't realize how much this affects. Like, he doesn't see, like, Oscar very much has like an older sibling, like, just older kind of point of view, and doesn't remember being, or not even doesn't remember, but because you're a guy, even when Celeste was like, or like if anyone was like, don't do that, like whatever, it's just like, meh. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't get the mindset and don't see what I've seen, and he doesn't realize, you don't realize how popular you were in high school, I think. Like, you know, but I don't think you realize, like,
I think I was more,
how influential, maybe, is the word I'm looking for.
Okay, I was going to say, because, like, I wouldn't say I was popular. Like, I had my friends and everything. I would have said that I was more just, like, well-known, but in the sense that, like, people know who I am, but not everybody likes me. Because I had a pretty bad reputation among a lot of people for other things where it's like a lot of people thought I was a fucking dickhead. That's not popular. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And that's why I'm saying I think influential is more so the right word.
So yeah, maybe that's the right word.
So there's that time, right? The other time.
Hold on. Can we take a pause real quick? Sofia sounds really like distraught about this whole thing. And I feel like we're at a point where we should be able to laugh about this.
No, I'll never laugh about this. Oh. Another time, I was talking to some guy in the hallway, right?
This was so funny.
Oscar sees, and see, this is the thing. Oscar's like, I was just joking. But he doesn't go around tell everyone I was just joking. So they don't know he was just joking. But me and this guy are talking in the hallway, and Oscar rounds the corner, makes eye contact with us, sees, and then proceeds to shout this guy's name, and is like, "Get away from my sister," and then proceeds to chase this guy. Literally chase this guy.
No, I
down
didn't.
the halls.
What
Yes,
the
you
fuck
did.
are you talking
yes,
about?
you did.
No, I didn't.
You started chasing them. He started running, and then you started following. I remember.
This is how I remember the story. What I remember. Hold on. Here's the thing. Because I was in the band. Sofia was in the flag team. The band and flag rooms were all like in the fine arts area. So then just at certain times of day, that entire hallway foyer area was just full of band kids and flag girls, right? So then I was just generally arriving at the area. Upon arrival, I look around, see who's here, who's doing what, because it was like before rehearsal or this or that. And Sofia was talking to this dude. Now, Sofia will admit reluctantly, this guy was like a wannabe slut. He like wanted to be like a womanizer, was like real flirt. He was like the where my hug at kind of guy, right?
He really
like
was.
The epitome of where my hug at. So I know for certain, if he's talking to Sofia, he's trying to hit on her, right? I also know he's the type of guy, not so much like super, super ego-based, but ever so slightly just like, yeah, I'm not scared of Oscar. Like, I'll go talk to Sofia. Like, watch. You know what I mean? I know that there was a small amount of that in there, right? So then I walked around the corner, and then I saw them talking, and I saw him with the stupid face that he normally had when he was like trying to flirt with girls. And Sofia was laughing, and I was like, dumbass Sofia, he's not funny. And so then what I remember doing is I remember yelling his name, and I was like, so-and-so, and then I just like stood where I was, a decent distance away from where they were, and I pointed, and I was like, I see you, I know what you're doing, you're not slick, you're not funny, bro.
Yeah.
Stop it. But in this jokingly like, you're not fooling me, bro. I know you're hitting on my fucking sister, and you're not fooling anybody else around us. Stop thinking you're slick. Stop trying to be cute. Stop trying to be funny. But
jokingly.
But
he just yelled it, sounding serious for the bit in front of everyone. And he wonders, and he's like, I didn't do anything to stop guys from coming up to you. I didn't
fight anyone. I was just bullshitting in this like, you're not funny. I fucking see you. And what I remember doing is I said that, I did it all, and then I kept walking. Like I just continued on to wherever the hell I was going.
I know for a fact, and it might be another time. But I know for a fact there was a time that me and this person were talking, and you came and you saw, and you started chasing him. I remember, and it might be I'll concede or whatever that it was another time, but I vividly remember we were talking and you started chasing him. I remember, and he might have been joking, but I remember it.
What did I? No fucking way, bro. Where did I chase him to?
Remember, just down the hall.
What happened when we got there?
When you enter the fine arts, you know how there's like a little cafeteria, or not cafeteria, but like table section. We were by one of those pillars, the foyer. We were by one of those pillars, and you were walking into school, like into the fine arts building.
Up through the stairs,
and you chased him like down to the band room, and then I didn't see you after that.
No, I don't remember that at all.
I remember.
Here's the other point that I've made that Sofia doesn't seem to agree with. I've already said this actually today. If these guys weren't bitch made, none of this would have been a problem.
That's besides the point right now.
You know
Oscar.
what I mean? Like, if all the other guys that saw all this, if they were actually good dudes, there would have been no fucking ego aspect to the situation, right?
No.
If they were good dudes. And if they weren't bitches, there would be no, like, intimidation factor of, like, oh, I'm not going to talk to her because Oscar's going to yell at me. Like,
well, maybe I want a bitch, you know? Like,
what a bitch.
But,
you know what I'm saying?
Regardless, yes, we can argue that point to whatever. That still doesn't change the fact that I didn't have a boyfriend, and I didn't get hit on, and I didn't have all this, because Oscar
accidentally
was a stereotypical older brother in that regard. Accidentally.
She's still upset about it if you haven't
I'm
noticed.
so annoyed. I'm more
She
annoyed
hasn't,
that
bro,
you.
bro.
I'm more annoyed.
I was
Shush,
only near you for half
I'm
of high school.
I'm more annoyed that you don't see it. That I'm more annoyed
That I think it's hilarious.
that he's just like that. He like I don't give a fuck about anyone from high school. I really don't. Like I whatever. You know, I'm grown. I have my life now. I'm annoyed that this motherfucker is still just like, I'm so innocent. It wasn't me. And it's like, I never did anything to fucking stop it. Never did. And the fact that I'm like, just talk to me. Like, you didn't have to make these big old spectacles. Like, you could have just come up to me and been like, hey, so-and-so's this, and that.
You're not the one that needed talking to.
Yeah, because they weren't going to do anything if I didn't do anything. Like, yeah, they could flirt. Yeah, they could whatever. But, like, I wasn't going to be putting myself in any position to where it's like, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter what you know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. No, I'm just kidding.
But he didn't. He was like, I'm a man. That's him pissing all over the territory. Stay away.
I'd like to know, Sophia and I were 2 years apart.
2 years
I
apart.
was a junior when she was a freshman. I was a senior when she was a sophomore. That means I was gone for her junior and senior year of high school. 2 fucking years where I wasn't there.
And Oscar seems to think that I wanted some fucking kid from my class, immature ass. No, I needed an older man, you know?
Ew, don't be stupid.
And I
Anyways.
couldn't, because they all knew him.
Don't be
They were all
stupid enough to
scared.
think that you're not compatible with someone your age.
I'm
Anyways.
not. And I don't, genuinely, I don't mean that. But there wasn't anyone like, it's because it's also this thing, like high school, like everyone knows everyone in their class pretty much. You know what I mean? Like, yes, and you might not talk to them, but like you've seen them, you grew up with them. We went to middle school together, we went to high school together. So and so has a connection to everyone somehow. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh yeah, this guy's an asshole because of this, or this guy's a whatever because of this. And that's not to say that the older classes didn't have that own thing. I just wasn't like, I wasn't part of that. You know what I mean? And like, I didn't want to date anyone in my class, not because we were the same age, just because like I know them too well. You know what I'm saying?
No, I think they all just suck. Because if any of them were like particularly good looking or particularly like interesting or funny or smart or this or that, I don't think you having known them would have mattered.
That is true.
Anyways.
Bro, it's so funny like how we evolve as people in like certain areas. Because I'll think back to like guys I had crushes on or guys I thought were fine shit in high school. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, so and so was fine.
Ew.
And I'll look back to them and I'm like, could never be me right now. You know what I mean? So it's just funny how like that evolves. And I was wondering, does that ever happen to you? Like, you think back to like chicks that you like have crushes on or chicks that you thought were like fine, and you're like, yeah, that's not fine no more.
Nah, I got good taste, bro.
He doesn't evolve, you know? I think too, a lot of it has to do with like,
hold on. That's not funny. That's not hilarious to you. That was so good. Like, nah, I got good taste. Those girls are still good looking, you know?
yeah.
No, there's like, you know what happens?
Hmm.
It's weird when you date a girl. It's weird because there were several girls that like I was into them / had a thing with them when they were still in their sort of like, mom calls it the ugly duckling phase. They're sort of like developmental, like they still have a bit of acne or they still have a bit of this or they still haven't quite learned to do their makeup or they still this or they still that. But before they like really kind of come into their own.
Reach their peak.
Right?
Yeah.
And so there were several girls that like one I'm sure you know of. There were several girls. There was one girl that I was like super into when we were like, she was a freshman, I was a sophomore. And everybody would make fun of me because they were like, oh, her fucking acne or her this or
Really?
her that. Or they would literally,
I didn't
it was
know
so
that
fucked
part.
up. It was so fucked up. They would literally call her greasy face because she had oily skin, because she had bad skin. Or they would call her like grease face. And I was like, you guys are dicks, but also she's still pretty. I just still thought that she was pretty, just like she had a pretty face, like her facial like
You
structure and
could
her
see,
features
but
and this and that.
beyond the acne, like
I could kind of see the potential.
you could see the potential. You could see the picture.
And she was pretty cool, right? And then over the next like year or two, as her acne started to clear up, and as she like not got skinnier because she wasn't like super big to
Just
begin
more
with, but
fit.
just slimmed down ever so slightly. Everybody started coming around like, oh yeah, so and so, like she's bad, and I'm like, bro, I've been telling you guys this for like 2 years, and then they're like, yeah, but she was greasy faced back then, and I was like, you guys are such dickheads.
Assholes.
So like, there's that type of thing where like I can see pictures from that time or remember that, and I'm like, okay, maybe like she wasn't that, whatever. She wasn't all that at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But there aren't any girls that like, if I show you a picture of them now, you're like, you were into her? Like, nah, they all kind of.
I'm pretty sure like all but one. Yeah, all but one of like my crushes. I can't
You're
look
just
back.
like,
I'm just like, what was I?
Well,
thinking?
hold on. Can you not look back at what they looked like when you had a crush on them, or like, can you not look back at them now? Like, can you look them up now and now?
No,
whack?
Back then, like the way they were then. I also don't like really keep in touch with a lot of people from high school. Like there's like a handful of people that I still follow on Instagram and like still kind of like, hey, how you doing? Whatever, right? So I don't know. So maybe now if I were to like look them up, I don't know is my point and how they look like now.
Yeah.
But what I do know is all but one of them. I think back and I'm like, girl, what were you thinking? Or like we'll see like pictures of like the band, because we have pictures like of like the team, like the band team, and then us, or just like group photos, like, you know what I mean? So like I'll see how how they were then, and I'm just like, I just can't see it, But yeah, so interesting.
So anyways, I ruined Sofia's high school love life.
He did
in 2 years alone, and 3 occasions.
4. You ran through those halls. I remember. You might not remember. Oscar doesn't remember a lot of things, but I
can't remember that at all in the slightest. That's hilarious. But I feel like it was also the kind of thing where like he would do it to poke my butt, like just for the sake of like messing with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is also a bad reason to hit on someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He's the type. The thing is, I feel like 90% of my time, and honestly, I could probably even say like 99% of my time, but we'll say 10% I'm going to classes, right? But 90% of my time I spent with the flag and band team or in the fine arts department, right? And so everyone within the fine arts department, like
your social circle all knew of me.
All knew of Oscar. Like just everyone.
Like knew who I was or knew that we were siblings.
The only ones that like didn't really were the classes that came like after me. And I'm not too keen on dating someone, especially in high school. Now, maybe like a year or two, like I'd be more open to it. But like, especially back in high school, it was like, no, like I would never date someone like younger than me. You know what I mean? It just felt weird, I guess. But anyways, that's besides the point. What was my point?
Most of your social circle knew
most of my social circle knew who Oscar was, knew who he was, like the leader of this, whatever. Right? So even if there were guys that like maybe did want to like talk to me, and how you were saying like, no, like, but you don't want someone who's like a pussy basically to talk to you, I think you're not giving yourself enough credit in regards of like how like
cool and tough I was, or what?
Sure. And like and just like the social hierarchy of like the band, you know what I mean? Like
this is so fucking lame, dude.
All I know. Low key though, like actually, I did used to think I was ugly, like in high school, because like no one would really like talk to me. And the only ones that like did end up like talking to me, Oscar drove them away. Or it was like, no, they're bad people, and I trust Oscar, so I'm like, okay, like, well, that sucks for that. You know what I mean? But there weren't really people that like the only, I guess, like attention I would get was from older men. Because if you guys
don't call them older men, you fucking dweeb.
No, they were older
upperclassmen,
no,
if anything. Oh no, like actually like
men.
Out of high school, like
out of grown ass old men. Because I grew up with big old boobies, right? And I was like a C cup like in 8th grade. So like I done grew up with big boobs. You know
Are
what
we
I mean?
trauma dumping in this
I'm
episode? I
trauma
feel like
dumping.
you're trauma dumping.
We're trauma dumping. Oscar's
I'm
listening.
laughing through it. Anyways,
Was like older men, right? And so like it's crazy. I vividly remember one time we were at Cielo Vista.
do I want to hear this story?
You're hearing it now. We're at Cielo Vista, and we were like shopping for like band camp, like clothes to wear. And I was just wearing like a top, like you could see my boobs, but like it is what it is type of thing.
Like they exist.
They exist, you know? And I was like walking out and I was with mom, and there was literally like a señor, like an old man staring at me. Like not at my eyes, but staring down at my boobs, like straight up, like no fucking like nothing, just like staring, you know?
Don't stare at me.
And then mom started yelling at this man, like, in Spanish, and she was like, you fucking, like, pervert, she's only this much, like, this old, like, da-da-da-da-da-da, like, yelling at him. So, like, I think also why I'm so resentful towards you, not resentful, like, not actually, but why I'm, like, it's because, like, I grew up with the only attention from, like, men are these fucking old-ass perverts, or these fuck boys that like aren't like who would fuck anything. So I genuinely grew up. I was like, I'm not like
nobody loves me.
Thinking like I was ugly. Like I was just like, I guess I'm just ugly. Like no one, you know what I mean? I don't think that now. But right? I'm gonna get water. On that note.
I was just telling you about Nick and Maru, right? There's a clip where Nick is drunk as fuck, and he's all hanging out with Sean and Christian, and he's upset because Sean is just gonna like go home and hang out with his girlfriend, and so Nick has one of those bullshit little karaoke mics, and he looks out the window, he's all, nobody loves me, everybody hates me, I'm gonna kill myself. And it's so funny. The clip is so funny, but then right now you're telling all this, and I can just hear it in my head where I'm like,
yeah. And I think too, that's why when I look back to my older like crushes, I think that's also why like not that they were ugly, but I think in my head like my standards were like
you're just kind of taking what you can get, sort of thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Lame.
But yeah. So.
By the way, ladies, I am never an advocate for dating a dude who's too ugly for you. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, because imagine also, if he cheats on you and you get cheated on a guy that's uglier than you. Like,
yeah, duh. Like, you're gonna get cheated on by the ugly guy. Also, well, this is completely unnecessary and unrelated. Not completely unrelated. If you're a girl and you have to be the pretty one in the relationship, you need to work on that. You need to work on that. You have a problem. And you're a little insecure. Just so you know.
I'll gladly be the ugly one in a relationship because I'm a bad bitch. So I'm like, yeah, look at what I pulled.
You know how good looking you got to be for me to be the ugly one?
Look at that fine shit. Look, you can't touch.
That's also the thing. Like a lot of the girls that have to be the pretty one in the relationship, it's like, yeah, I see why.
But then also, I feel like people who think that have said it at some point, you know what I mean? So like, I don't know, I just imagine how your partner must feel like if like
yeah, that's like, so fucked up sucks. Where like it comes out and you're like, oh, I'm the ugly one here and you know it? That's fucked up.
Do you think most couples know who the ugly and the pretty one are?
No. I think if you do know,
like, I feel like your partner has to be really ugly for
I think there's variations of it. There's variations of it. And which variation you fall under will kind of say a lot about you and your relationship. So I think ideally, both people should think
the other one's
that they are the ugly one in the relationship. Like, I shouldn't be dating a girl that I think I'm better looking than. Or I think she's, like, below me in league, right?
Yeah.
Or she's ugly in any way. Like, I should be dating someone that I think is, like, wow. And she shouldn't be dating me thinking that I'm ugly. Like, that doesn't make sense either. Like, she should think that I'm like, wow, right? Yeah. That's like ideal. If there's that, And then there's like a toxic version where like both people think that they're the good looking one, which just kind of inherently makes me feel like they think less of the partner. Where, because like if they think they're the good looking one, they think that they're the prize. They think that they're the one with the power, if you will. And then there's the relationship where both people know that who the ugly one is, and they both agree on who the ugly one is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know that that's worse than both people thinking the other person's the ugly one, but that's kind of like, I think people think that that's okay, and I don't think it is. You know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, like he's an ugly dude. He knows it. She knows it.
I know
But
when people are
he's
like,
nice.
when people like the whole like, oh, you gave the ugly guy a chance. Like, have you seen? There was like a trend going on TikTok where it's like,
Yeah.
you gave the ugly guy a chance, and then like whatever. But I'm like, that's horrible. Like, not giving the ugly guy a chance, but like having that kind of mentality,
say it, like, and to view it in this like, oh, I'm too good looking for you, but I guess I'll fucking give you the time of day. Like, what a dickhead. You know what I mean?
That's ugly. You know?
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying, ideally, no one should ever think that the other one is the ugly one. Like, if you think your partner is the ugly one in the relationship, that just to me says a lot about who you are and how you view the relationship. Like, that's fucking lame. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if anyone's gonna be the ugly one, it should be the guy.
If there's gonna be an ugly one, it should be the guy.
Yeah. Cause also then it's weird because there's different aisles of good looking for guys, and there's pretty and ugly within each of those, right?
Okay.
Like there's pretty boy, good looking, and then there's like rugged, good looking, and then there's like handsome, good looking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like pretty boy is like Timothée Chalamet, and rugged is like Wolverine, and then handsome is like Henry Cavill, where he's not like,
you did that so good. Yes. Yeah.
I know. Shut up. Anyways, so like you can't say that any of them are ugly. They're just different in like their lane. You know what I mean? But even within pretty boy shit, like there are dudes that kind of they have like similar features to like a Timothée Chalamet, or they have like a similar overall like structure, but it just doesn't quite work. So they're ugly. They're just not good looking. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then there are like rugged motherfuckers that are just like, oh, you wait, like that, like it just looks like a fucking mountain man, you know? But then I think like there's ugly versions of each that also work for some people. Like there's rugged in a good looking way, and then there's rugged in like a motherfucker looks like an animal sort of way. But then there are people that like that.
And then there's,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, like they're the pugs of people. And some people just like that. I don't, but
you know what I mean?
I still think pugs are ugly.
We didn't need that part, but anyways.
I do. I don't get like how people are like, I don't think they're cute. I think they're ugly.
Anyways.
I don't get it.
So, what the hell was I
So you never, so with any of your girlfriends, you never thought you were the pretty one or the ugly one?
Not for certain. Like, I never thought I was the ugly one, but I never thought they were the ugly one either. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, I didn't think it was like, I wasn't like, I'm kind of out of her league, but she's cool, so oh well. It wasn't that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think you were ever out of anyone's, or out of your either. I don't
out of their leagues.
You were out of their leagues, yeah.
But I didn't think like, yeah, I'm the ugly guy who just got lucky because I have a good personality. Like,
because I'm so funny.
You know what I mean?
I personally think I'm pretty funny, and so I need someone to match my level. Like, I don't think I could date someone that I didn't think was funny.
You can't date like a pretty unfunny guy.
Yeah, no. Or they would have
Sofia.
to be.
No, that's the thing about Sofia.
They would have to be
that's fucked up, bro.
Pretty. They'd have to be so pretty that it just doesn't matter. No, but I love.
That's the thing that's fucked up about Sofia, because you know the typical like ugly dudes are funny dudes because that's all like they had to sort of develop something to have something going for them because they were never good looking. Sofia likes funny dudes, but she has a strong priority for pretty dudes. So it's like, how many pretty guys?
And you know what? You know what? I'll say this before you guys think I'm a bitch for this particular thing. I have like what I find attractive, what I consider as like pretty dudes is not, I think, what everyone would consider that. Because there was this one guy that me and my friend, we were like walking, we saw, and I was just like, that guy's fine. And she looked at me like, no, he's not. And vice versa. You know what I mean? And I think we're both pretty. But it's just like, it's just a different type. So.
Oh, some people also have bad taste.
Maybe I have bad taste, you know? we keep saying
Perhaps.
that I like pretty guys, but it's what I view as pretty guys. You know? Anyways, I do need someone.
What do you think of Adam Driver?
I don't think he's cute. If it's hold on, let me look it up. If it's who I'm thinking of, I don't get the.
To my understanding, he's considered to be like an ugly good looking.
Driver.
Like ugly in a good looking way.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
That's the thing with me is like, I think everybody's allowed to have their type or their taste, right? Like whatever you're into, you have every right to be into, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I get it though. That doesn't mean I agree. You know what I mean? Or like I'll tell my friends, like I've the one homie from the gym, we've had conversations where like we'll be like, oh, what do you think of so and so, or what do you think of this person, what do you think of that person? And I'll be like this or that or this or that. And I've told him, I'm like, I'm really, really big on the face. Like their face is the number one determinant of whether or not I'm into them. And I'm like, and he clearly not, right? Because he'll be like, oh, look at so and so, and I'm like, and he's like, but look at,
they're
this
badonk
part.
badonk.
And I'm like, yeah, but look at their face, bro. Like, she's ugly. I don't give a fuck. I got ass. I'm not impressed. You know what I mean? And then he's just like, right? So like everybody's allowed to like whatever they want, but that doesn't mean everybody has good taste.
Going, No, I think I have. I think I have good taste. I think.
Yeah, because also
I might be biased though.
I think everybody's allowed to like what they like, but I think taste is also very, very strongly influenced by how you feel about yourself. So like if you're really insecure or you're really this or really that, that's going to affect what you do and don't like accept, right?
Yeah.
So like that's why I say girls that have to be the pretty one in the relationship, they're very insecure.
No, but you know what's crazy though? Like it's something that you already know. But, like, it's just kind of crazy to see it, like, happen so blatantly. Like, personality, I think it does, like, change attraction.
Completely
to a certain degree, right? Like, an ugly person who's very charismatic, like, if you're very much, like, not good looking, like, you're just a charming, not good looking guy, like, as much as that sucks. But someone, like, I feel like for, like, the average, like, guys and women, being like the personality, or I'll speak on only just guys because I don't like.
I'm
women.
sorry, I've
listen. Okay, listen.
Okay,
an average guy, right? If with an average personality, just average, but an average guy that with like who's very charismatic and very like just like personality, like a good personality.
Yeah. Personality on
can
10.
Boost it up like so much. And I used to hear that, like people say that, I'm like, I don't know if I agree. Like I think like attraction, whatever. But no, I witnessed it. And by that I mean I experienced it live with it is so stupid. With heated rivalry.
No.
No? Okay. Look up on your computer right now.
There's an average looking guy there and you saw an interview and he was funny or what?
Rivalry. And I don't know if I would call him average looking, but there's two guys. Heated rivalry.
Does that mean he's ugly?
No. I think he's cute. I don't think he was like ugly to begin with. But the two main characters in Heated Rivalry.
What's his name? Connor or Hudson?
I'm talking about Shane. Hudson. Oh. Hudson. In the show,
he's not ugly.
He's not ugly, that's what I'm saying. But it's funny how like attraction works, because in the show, watching the show, it's about two gay guys that play hockey, and they're like on opposing teams and like whatever, right?
Oh, and then they make out with each other,
and then they're all like super gay together, right? Like, right?
That's so funny. That's such a funny concept,
right? And in the show, the characters' names, there's Ilya and there's Shane. And watching the show, I was more attracted to Ilya, and he's like.
Yeah.
Connor, right?
Yeah.
But in interviews and like their real life,
see their actual personalities and shit,
I'm more attracted to Shane, which is Hudson. And so, but it's like crazy, like one, like also like they're good actors, which I'm sure like plays a role to it. But it's just crazy to me.
It's crazy how right before your eyes it just
switches.
And you couldn't like resist even being switched.
Yeah. And like even if I watch the show knowing like who Hudson is, who Shane is in real life, like it still just isn't there. So I'm like, that's crazy. Like it's just crazy how much, like,
Interesting.
I think I don't realize how much personality really does, like,
Oh, I've always
influence,
realized it.
you know?
I think I've always realized it because like there was always like quote unquote hot girls in school, but then you talk to them for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh, you're a fucking idiot. Like, get away from me. Or like you're fucking like full of yourself, or this or that or whatever.
Mhm.
I think I've always realized it on. No, I've realized it in other ways because there were even girls that weren't that good looking, but they were so fucking cool
Yeah.
that you're like shit, and you find yourself being attracted to them, and you're like fuck. And then you talk to your friends about it, and then it's like, or this or whatever.
No, I definitely realized it on the other way, like a good-looking guy with a shitty-ass personality, like, I'm like, "Ew," you know, like, I realized it in that way, but, like, which, like, yeah, no,
Like you
like,
were
no
very
duh,
aware of how much the personality can bring you
can
down, but you
I
weren't aware
wasn't
of how much it
aware
can bring you up.
bring you up,
Yeah,
exactly.
no. That's how a lot of people shit, should I say this?
Say it, say it, say it.
Well, I'm not gonna put her name in it anyways. That's how a lot of people felt about what's her name is whatever the fuck whatever her name is now, the English teacher.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes were like, she's not that good looking, but she's so fucking cool that like she's a shit.
She
You know what I
was
mean?
she was the female teacher crush, like the
She was one of, and it was always like yeah, she's not that pretty. Or like, I get it if you don't think she's pretty, but she's so fucking cool. You know what I mean?
yeah. There was a guy teacher. I never had his class, but I seen him in the hall, and he had like tattoos like down his arms. I can't remember. He was like older though, but like all the girls had a crush on him. All of them.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wish I knew his name, but I don't. I just saw him from afar.
Anyways. Yeah, no, that's happened a lot. The whole she's good looking, but she's a fucking moron. Like, that's very common actually. Not that she's a moron, but like being good looking and the personality bringing you down is very common.
Yeah. No. See, I'm never gonna find someone, Oscar.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be single for the rest of my life
probably not.
because I want someone that I'm attracted to. I want them
that's
to be funny, and I need them to at least match my intelligence, if not smarter. And I feel like that's hard to just fill just those
Well,
three.
I also
and
think
there's
this
more.
is the other thing. I'm gonna say this real quick because I haven't had an opportunity to say this on a public platform, but this is my public platform, so I'm gonna say it because I feel like it. I feel like people forget that husband and wifey material are not supposed to be common. You know what I mean? Like people will talk all day about like where are the good men and like how come there's so many guys that are shitty in this way or shitty in that way or this or that or whatever. And now a lot of guys will have the same conversations about like where are the good women or like why don't women do this anymore or that or this or whatever. And it's like, bro, it's called husband material for a reason. It's called wifey material for a reason. Like it's not supposed to be everywhere. You're not supposed to easily find someone who's fucking wifey material. Like it's supposed to be rare. It's supposed to be fucking special.
But
it's supposed to be
rare.
Yeah, but it's supposed to be like
Yeah.
why do you think people get married? Because they found the one person who fucking really actually gets there. You know what I mean?
Or they were desperate or pregnant.
Or well, yeah, there's
Just
other
kidding.
reasons,
I'm
but
just
like it's my
no,
opinion.
but I get what you're saying.
Or like it's my opinion. Like I don't believe in soulmates. Like there's one person and that's the one person for you and that's it. But I kind of view it more like what's it called? Maybe like filters where it's like if they have to be good looking, well that removes a certain amount of people. And they have to be smart, then that removes a certain amount of people. If they have to be funny, then that removes them. Right? There's all these filters of what there is. And then at the end of all those filters, there's maybe like 4 or 5 people left. And so none of those 4 or 5 people none of them are the one. They're all like compatible, I guess, in a sense of like it could work with any of them. But which one do you find and which one do you find at a time where you are capable of actually like handling the relationship properly? And which one do you actually like put the effort into as far as the relationship goes? Or which one do you not fuck it up with? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's supposed to be one person. I think it's more of like one type of person. But it's like, no fucking shit. All of these guys suck. No fucking shit. All of these girls suck. No fucking shit. Like, they're all supposed to suck. They're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be able to walk outside and throw a rock and find a husband. Like doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? And ladies, don't get it twisted. Most of you suck too.
Not me. I'm perfect.
So like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oscar, I have a question for you. Do you want to get married eventually?
I yes, but like I'm kind of the opinion where I guess the simplest way to put it is like if it's not like a fairy tale, then I don't want it. You know what I mean? Like
Fair enough.
I don't ever
Yeah,
want to
like
get married. Like it has to be like, oh my
you
god, I
are
can't
the
believe I
one.
found you.
Yeah.
Like yeah, like I have because like you know how like Bert Kreischer will talk about it when he talks about Leanne, or people will talk about it when they're like, you if you know, you know, and if you don't know, then it's
Then
not that
that's not the
person.
one.
Like if there's any fucking
Ooh.
semblance of doubt in your mind, they're not the one. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Like you should know with absolute fucking certainty.
Okay.
So in that sense, I want to get married, but I'm very, very like
Hesitant.
it's very conditional in the sense of like I'm not gonna marry you because you're a good person, because you're like a good person to marry. Or I'm not gonna marry you because it makes sense, or because I'm at that point in my life, or because I already have a kid with you, or because this, or because like it has to be this sort of like I have to know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if I don't know, then I'm not doing it.
Okay. Follow-up question. You meet the one. This is my real question, you know? You just had to say yes for the first one. The first one had to be a yes, otherwise it was like a moot point or a moot question or whatever. You meet the one. She's amazing. She farts glitter, right? And you're like, I want to marry you, baby girl. You get down on one knee. And you propose. You're like, will you marry me? So and so. And then she says yes, right? But then
I thought you were gonna say that she says no, and you were gonna ask what do I do?
no, not that.
Okay, she says yes.
She says yes. She says though, which this probably came up in conversation before, like, you know, you proposed, I'd assume.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to change her last name though.
Oh.
Do you have an issue with that?
In a sense. It's not. Here's the thing. I think in these types of conversations, people are like they're far too extreme in that like they have to have their way, and they have to like they kind of have their opinion, and there's no fucking moving them from that, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's in a broad sense, right? Because like a lot of times I hear girls talk about, oh, I don't want to give up my last name, like just because I'm marrying you, why do I have to disregard my history and my family and my heritage and my fucking blah 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 blah.
Everything.
And that doesn't make sense to me. I understand what you're saying. I don't think it's a good reason, because I'm like, how is changing your name disregarding all of those things? Like, I don't understand how changing your name equates disregarding your heritage and everything. Like, first of all, they're still your family. You can still represent them. You can still honor them in other ways, right? You can still know them. Your kids can still know them. You can still spend time with them. You can still know their history and know who they were, right? I don't understand how changing your name equates leaving them behind. That's one. Two, what do you think of your mom then? Like, your mom changed her name. Do you think she has no regard for her family and her heritage and her history? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, if you changing your name means that you have no regard for your family and heritage and history, does that mean your mom does? Like, no, your mom obviously cares and has the, you know, holds them in their heart and in her heart and whatever. So it's like, that doesn't make sense to me, right? But then a lot of guys have this whole fucking thing about bloodline and whatnot. And like, oh, this is my bloodline. It's my duty to carry on the name and this and that and whatever the fuck. And a lot of those guys are full of shit. They don't give a fuck about their bloodline. Because you could sit here and you could ask them, you could be like, okay, you're so fucking concerned with honoring your bloodline. Okay, what's your father's name? And what did he do for a living? And they'll tell you. And then you say, what's your grandfather's name? And what did he do for a living? Maybe they'll tell you. And then you say, what was his father's name? And what did he do for a living? And they won't fucking know. And what about his father? And what about his father? And what about his father? We're only back 2 generations and you already don't know?
But it's
like
bloodline.
You don't give a fuck about your fucking bloodline. You give a fuck about your stupid ego and calling yourself a man. Like, you don't give a fuck about those people and who they were, where they came from, or what they had to do to get you where you are. Like, you're full of shit, right? So there are arguments, there are good and bad arguments on both sides, right? I see it as like, if you want to, and then people are on their extremes. Like, some women refuse to take the man's last name in a sort of like stand against the patriarchy, right? Some men refuse to accept like a hyphenated name where she keeps hers and yours, and he's like, fuck you, if you don't want mine, you don't want to be with me, yeah, I'm out, right? And I think both of those are like not ridiculous hills to die on, but just like, you're only thinking about yourself, I think, in both scenarios. I would be fine with like a hyphenated last name, or that's the type of situation where she's like, I don't want to take your last name. I'd kind of clarify like which one or why or like how. I would be fine with a hyphenated last name of like, you keep yours and mine. I would even go as far as to consider having like a shared hyphenated last name. Like she has hers and mine, and I have hers and mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think that's already like way further than most dudes are willing to go. And so at that point, I'm kind of like, if we can't, I feel like I'm already, what's the word? Like I'm already very considerate of the situation in its entirety. And if we can't arrive at a conclusion, it's because she's being stubborn in like, this is what I'm going to do. And that's it. I don't want to talk about it. We're not going to fucking figure it out. You know what I mean? Like I'm already giving a lot, I think. Would I not marry her? I don't know, because it depends on what it is, right? And because again, I think a lot of people take it like way too personally, or their ego is way too tied up into it, to where guys will sit here and say, oh, if she doesn't take your last name, it's because she doesn't love you, or she doesn't want to be like one unit with you. And they act like that's the only possible explanation. And that doesn't make sense, right? So it would depend, like if it is this sort of like oh, we're married, but yeah, like why? Why do you not want to?
Okay.
What is your concern? What's the reason? What are the compromises that you're willing to make? Like what's going on, right? I don't have any problem with a hyphenated name. Like, okay, yeah, cool, go ahead. But then I fucking hate the bitches that are like, what if his last name is lame? And it's just like not a cool last name. Like that's such a superficial fucking reason, you fucking bitch. Like fucking lame, right? And there are girls like, what if my last name is cooler than his? It's like, fuck your last name. That's stupid. You think I have my last name because it's cool? No, because it's fucking who I am, right?
Yeah.
So that shit's fucking lame. So if it was some dumb shit like that, I'd be like, bitch. Like, but then there are people who are like, why don't we just throw away both of those last names and just create a new one?
I don't know about that.
I kind of like, I see the logic, but I'm not doing that shit. I'd rather add your last name to my name than come up with a new one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd rather us both have that hyphenated shit than have a new one. And even then, I don't really want to do that. But that's like as far of a compromise as I'm willing to go, in the understanding of like, look, we're not just throwing away who you are and where you come from. We are just becoming one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Here's my point on this. Taking away politics, and you'll see why politics is a thing right now. Taking away politics before, the world got crazy. I don't think I would change my name for a guy. Or if I would change my last name, it would have to be a hyphenated. Like, we have each other's names. We are creating a new life together. You and
they
I
have
both
to take on too?
Yeah, and I take on their last name. Like, we both hyphenate. I do think it would kind of maybe be cute. Like, I think in theory it's cute. Like, I take his name, he takes my last name. But at that point, I'm like, nah, but that's like a moot point because, like, I want the same last name. You know what I mean? Like,
that's cool. The thing is, like, that's the big thing is, like, you got to be matching. Like, you got to be a unit.
Like, I am cool if he has an attachment to his name and isn't willing to change it to my last name. Okay, that's fine. And he doesn't want to change his name to a hyphenated name. Okay, but I'm going to keep my last name. You know what I mean? Or we're both creating this new life, creating this new fucking thing together. Let's hyphenate our names and bring it forward there, right? Because I do think, like, in a sense, like, because the whole reason on, like, the wife taking the last name of, like, the husband is, like, kind of rooted in, like, misogynistic, like, they are giving away, like, they are no longer part of the family.
She's leaving her family and becoming part of his.
And I think that's fucking stupid. You know what I mean? And to a certain degree, like, yeah, like, this is, like, my name. This is who I grew up with. Like, it's not who I am, but, like, a little bit. And if you're not willing to change your name for me, why should I be willing to change my name for you? Is kind of how I see it, right? Like, it's kind of how I think. But I was thinking about this. Feminism. And then it's funny because I'm like, oh, girl, you're never gonna get married. Because they have to be attractive. They have to be funny. They have to fucking have my level of intelligence or more and be progressive in this kind of way. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, sometimes I'll think about it and I'm just like, oh, it's never gonna fucking, no. But in an ideal world, that is how I would do that. But in today's world, I'm never changing my fucking last name. Like, never. Do you know the SAVE Act?
No.
So it's something that they're trying to get through Congress right now. Or maybe it's gone further. To my knowledge might be a little outdated. But it's to where if your last name doesn't match the last name you have on your birth certificate, you can't vote.
What the fuck?
So I'm never changing until that's like no longer an issue, no longer a threat.
Okay,
no longer,
well,
like,
yeah, well,
anything.
here's the thing. Like, that's a whole different scenario
whole-
where it's
and
like,
that's why
if
I
you're
was saying-
trying to remove my fucking ability to vote because I'm married, that's fucking bullshit, right? But that's not the same thing as like,
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying, like, in an ideal world,
yeah,
that would be my point on it. But we're not living in an ideal world, and in my world now, I will never fucking change my last name. And if you have a problem with that, I don't know. You weren't the one, you know? But I feel like, yeah, like, I feel like if a guy doesn't know, because, like, I feel like if a guy doesn't hear that, like, because, like, you're like, what the fuck, right? That is a normal
if that's not
response.
the reaction,
If that is not the reaction, and you're still like, no, but you still have to change your last name to mine, for the, disgusting.
I've seen this comedian one time where he was like, yeah, a lot of women talk about like they don't want to change their last name anymore, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, I'm not taking on my dad's last name. And it's just like, or I'm not taking on his last name. And it's like, well, you have your dad's last name. And they're like, no, well, I have my mom's last name. And he's like, she has her dad's last name. Like, yeah. And then they're like, and then everybody starts laughing. He's like, I don't know if you know, but we've been working on this patriarchy for a minute here. Like, I think this is hilarious. Anyways.
Yeah. I do have my mom's last name, though, actually.
And she has her dad's.
And she has her dad's.
Yeah.
But I like that. But we're not talking about that guy. I'm talking about my mommy, you know? So that's, and it's funny because we were talking about it kind of at work, like not the SAVE Act, but just like generally speaking. But we were talking about it, and like people are like, yeah, like I would take his last name, or like, oh yeah, like for sure, like I'm taking his last name. Like hopefully it's not ugly, but I'm taking his last name, right? That was one of my coworkers. One of my other coworkers was saying like, I'll only take, like, she says she wants to date someone who's like Hispanic, and she will only change her last name. Like she wants a Hispanic last name. Like she doesn't want.
Oh, it's that one girl.
She doesn't want it. She makes me laugh when she says that. She's like, like Brown, like so and so Brown.
Gross.
And I'm like, that's so funny. And then like I would joke, and then that's when I was like, I wouldn't change my last name. Or the only way I would change my last name is if they change their last name and we're both hyphenating. Like, because I do, like, I genuinely.
I'm not even sure.
Like,
I'm not even sure both people hyphenating is a thing.
I don't know if it's a thing, but like we're gonna make it a thing. No, because like I don't know, like I just like part of me, and I do think this is very like feminist of me or whatever, but part of me is like, yeah, like yes, like I get like we are creating a new life together, so then why am I the only one putting in these extra kind of like steps? You know what I mean? But I don't know.
It was always like the
I think
would leave.
It's
well, it was
like,
always the bloodline thing. It was always the bloodline thing of like the man carries on the name and the daughter joins someone else's name.
And now I am like under their protection and their property type of thing.
So under their
and like now,
but also
now
under
it's
their
like
responsibility.
Responsibility, yeah. And like now, I don't know. Like I'm just like yuck. like and yes, I get it's like tradition. And
I get it.
Like it's not that,
but there's like. That's the other type of thing where like there's so many traditions that if you actually look into them, they're kind of fucked.
They're kind of fucked.
But it's like, what are you gonna do? Or in my, I get to a point where I'm like, what are you gonna do? Like the whole veil, you know, the veil where it like covers your face and then they like reveal it. You know why that was a thing?
So that they don't run away because like they're an ugly
you're
bitch.
talking about the tail. No. Oh. The whole veil that covers your face and they reveal it when you get to when you walk down the aisle and you reveal it.
Wasn't it because like they don't know who they were?
That was the
and
first
it's like
time
literally
you saw
the
them.
first time seeing them.
That comes from like arranged marriages.
Yeah.
Where it's like, this is your wife. Reveal. Ta-da. Which is like, you can get into this whole thing about arranged marriages and whether or not they're good or this or that or whatever the fuck. That shit's still around. You know what I mean? And it's like, also, maybe this is pessimistic, but with certain traditions, I get to a point where I'm like, are you really changing anything by not doing it? But I don't know if that's the wrong way to think about it. Because it's like, well, if everybody just kind of gives up, like the only way something actually changes is everybody starts doing the change. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know. I think, again, I think the reason I kind of see it that way sometimes is because I have a very strongly held belief that like some things are only as big of a deal as you make them.
As you make them.
And I think that consideration can be applied almost anywhere where it's like, is this really a big deal or are you just making it a big deal? You know what I mean? And you may not just be making it a big deal, and it may, in fact, be a big
Be a
deal.
big deal.
But I think you can ask that question in almost every scenario. And I don't think everything is a big deal, you know? But that's kind of like circumstantial, and it kind of comes and goes depending on what's what, you know?
Yeah.
Anywho.
I don't know.
All right.
All I know.
Today's episode was about love lives. I'm going to title the episode The Problem with Sophia's Love Life. And they don't know that I'm the problem.
And this is going to be, you should actually, this should be you. Like, you should do that like a thing. And I'm just going to be like.
By the way, it's been like fucking 10 years since I've gone to the same school as Sofia. Her love life has been her problem for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
For a long time. Yeah. Anyways.
No, because like it's the thing. Like if I wanted a boyfriend, I could get a boyfriend. But I don't want a boyfriend. I want my person. You know? Anyways, that's it for today's episode, guys. Let us know if you would change your name for your partner, whether it's a girl or a guy, or they or them, whether you would change your name or not. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Bye.